The ultimate MGTOW, John Galt. How does one go Galt, truly? Well, this is going to be a little bit of a instruction manual. First, get rid of all of your debt. In order, you're not going to be able to disappear if you owe a debt. If you're zeroed out, banks don't care. Credit agencies don't care. Insurance companies don't care. The government does not care. Ex-wives don't care. You have to get rid of all of your debt. 1. 2. Stockpile resources. When I say this, I'm essentially referring to gold, silver, and or of virtual currency. Essentially, nothing that can be attached to your name, your social security number, your driver's license or address. That's 2. And you're going to need a lot of it. 3. Pick up as many skills and knowledge as you can. Once you go Galt, you're going to want to be involved in a field that you had not worked in previously. Humans are creatures of habit. Many people who have attempted to go and do it have been tracked down because they, one, didn't have a large enough stockpile to essentially go and get them set up elsewhere without having to, go into debt. And not only that, but they ran into issues because they only had one skill set. So gain as much knowledge as you can. Gain as many skills as you can. And become as proficient as you can in each. If you are able to focus hard and actually, focus and work at it, to become proficient, now, I'm not talking an expert, but to be able to become somewhat proficient in something, you don't need 10,000 hours. That's for expert level. All you need is 20 hours, and you can teach yourself a new skill. That's 3. Step 4. You want to have as few ties to the grid as possible. If you're going to go Galt, you have to have a plan in mind. You have to be able to, if you're going to stay in the country that you are currently in, you're going to have to go and limit your contact with the outside world. This also includes utilities. Your water needs to be on a well. Your sewage essentially needs to be a septic system, a large septic system. For electricity, you're going to want to generate your own. Now, as we know about the woman over in Florida, she was dumb. She went and got off the grid the way that they tell you to. Do not do this under any circumstances. Don't even buy solar panels. Build them yourself. Why? No one looks at you if you are buying solar cells. If you purchase solar panels, most people are going to use credit cards one, you have to get rid of these things when it comes to credit cards. And two, only use cash until you end up going Galt. Now, you're going to need to teach yourself how to build wind turbines, solar panels, and you're going to need to acquire certain materials and equipment. You're going to need batteries, charge controllers, controlling diodes. You're going to have to essentially estimate how much power you're going to need and design your setup accordingly. You're only going to get one shot. So these are skills you're going to have to learn. You're also going to want to learn how to build a solar water heater, because you're not going to be tied into a gas line, and using your limited electricity for hot water, not exactly advisable. So you're also going to want to be in a somewhat warm climate. I would suggest the American West, around New Mexico, Arizona, for instance. Your 5. The location that you are going to pick, you're going to want to ensure that there are additional resources in the area that you're able to call upon. I had mentioned Arizona. Well, out there, as long as you are also able to gain some old maps, you can find old gold mines on public land. These mines were last in operation when gold was $13 an ounce. It's still there, just as a note. They stopped mining because it was no longer profitable with using the technology at the time. Today you can use nitric acid, for example, to extract the gold and separate it from the impurities. You're able to go and purchase these things online, either on eBay or Alibaba. Six. Now, just as a roundup, we have gold and silver as currency that you're able to exchange at any jewelry store or pawn shop. You have skills. You're debt-free. And with your skills, you're able to get a job in a profession that's completely the opposite of your previous profession, and you have the ability to go and move around from one profession to another. Never stay in one for too long. You're off the grid. You're able to generate hot water. You have electricity. You're at this point you are fairly good to go. But there are still a few things you're missing. One, you're gonna want to learn how to fly a plane and a helicopter. These are two skills that I point out for some very specific reasons. If there is a shit hit the fan scenario, you're gonna want to have the ability to get the hell out of Dodge. And you have to imagine the roads are going to be pretty well foobarred. So learn how to fly. Now that you have the skills, you're debt free, you have the resources, and you know how to fly and build all of this yourself, You're also probably going to want to look into like solar ovens and stuff like that as a side note. Next comes actually going. When you go, you need to disappear. You need to leave as much of your old life behind you as you can bear. So you're going to have to go through family records, photo albums, anything that is precious to you that you're going to want to hold on to. We all have these needs. But you're going to want to break it down to the bare minimum. So, in order to do this effectively, you're going to want to essentially have a series of storage lockers. I suggest, instead of going to a storage company, I suggest actually going and making a purchase of shipping containers. You can have them put anywhere, and you can slowly go and move these things over there. So by the time you go, there isn't any blank spots on a table or a desk or a dresser that would show that something was there and now it's not, as a result of a dust buildup. And when you go, no contact to the outside world. Ever. Do not contact anybody that you had known or were involved with in any way, including cousins, aunts, uncles. No contact whatsoever. That's the hardest part. But it is possible. Now, as far as people going out, well, I live in the U.S., I'm stuck with a social security number, yada, yada, yada. You know what? If a illegal immigrant can come over here, get a fake SOS number, fake family history and driver's license, and get everything changed, so can you. You just gotta find it. Up in Detroit, at one time, there was a little shop that could accommodate such things over on Green Street. It's not there anymore. They've moved 3 times since then. But I still keep my ear to the ground on that. Well, I hope this overview of the instruction manual has been helpful. John Galt, the ultimate MGTOW.